ended up winning most of the key categories, but obviously not the main one of the scoreboard. So, I mean, how does that feel?
Yeah, and that is deflating. I feel we've almost got a split personality in the rooms at the moment. I'm so proud of our effort, so proud of our start. Actually, and then, to be fair, so proud of every quarter, really. The last quarter got away from us a little bit, but it wasn't method, it wasn't system, it was just slight role execution. They're really good. They're good players, played really well in the last quarter, and they just finished their work. So as a group, we sit here really flat, but at the same time understand that we're on the right path. We come up here on a mission as a footy club. Our VFL team had a great win, and we're a few minutes away from having an enormous win for our footy club. So, we'll look at all the reasons behind it. We'll look at all the positives on why we started well and why we dominated for the majority of the game, and then find out the reasons why that last quarter got away from us. So it's pretty clear, but really disappointed.
Yeah, how much of it do you put down to just inexperience and youth that I guess you weren't able to stem the tide when the Giants were surging late? And we spoke about it before. As a coaching group, you'd be more worried that if we just lost our way and inside 50s in the last quarter were 18-4 and we couldn't get out, but when the numbers were really even, clearance numbers were really even in the last quarter, inside 50s were really even. The thing that just got away from us was we couldn't lock it in our front end, and that is where we've got our youngest group is our front end, and our young key position forwards are playing against really good defenders. Like Sam Taylor's last quarter was very, very good, but he's an All-Australian. And that's the reason why he is a good player. But John Fall and Tom Sims get a chance of playing him all game, and I thought what they did in the first three quarters is exactly what we're after, and that's what is the future of our footy club. So we'll learn from that. We'll have a look at the reasons why they got out of our front end too easy in that last quarter, but like I said, our effort and our intent in that last quarter and our method wasn't, that didn't fall away. So, they were just better in that last quarter and maximised every entry. Are there any intangibles, though? I guess this is the third game in a row where one bad quarter has cost you a game, despite three really, impressive quarters otherwise. Yeah,
well, some of that's time. And like I said, I'd be more worried that if the numbers look like last week, the quarter where we battled everywhere. We couldn't compete with 5 inside 50s for a quarter, whereas this week it was really even. So I thought the method and our process was really even across every quarter. Like I said, the execution and I think just their talent in the last quarter just shone. So we've got it. It's something that we're striving, or where we're trying to get to. They're competing in big games and finals, and that's where we want to get to. And like I said, some of our younger boys will be better for it, but at the same time, they're angry that we didn't win.
Were you happy in the third with every time the Giants, they threatened to put one or two on you, you're able to hit back, particularly late in that term when you put two in a row and open up that big lead? Yeah,
we did, and even in the second, they got a little bit of momentum, but we stuck to our process, and I've spoke about this all throughout the season around our mental mastery. So. It was a different test, being in front and getting challenged and then responding, and so there was some waves of momentum all game, and it was fluctuating. They just maximised theirs in the last quarter. When we had momentum in the second and third, I think we kicked 1 goal 6 in the second quarter and 3 goals 5 or something in the third. So when we did have momentum and when the game was on our terms, we struggled to maximise. But the process is right, and that's what we're going to keep working on.
What do you hope this group can take out of an effort like this going forward?
Well, as I said, we come here on a mission, understanding what they're playing for. They're pushing for top 4 and things like that. They're striving, and their list is in a different spot than ours. But at the same time, we come here to win. So I'm really proud of the effort on the road. A couple of our boys hadn't been to Sydney, let alone this ground. So the opportunity to connect and play against a really good side on their away from home, we're really proud of. But like I said, we'll take away the positives, but at the same time, we want to win, and we expect to win, and we're shattered we didn't.
Dion Prestia came back for his first game of the season.
Yeah.
Been away. What did you, I guess, make of his reintroduction and what it means to have him in the midfield group with Tim Taranto, Jacob Hopper, and the skipper?
Yeah, well, all three, look, our leaders stood up. Like Nank and obviously Lynchy and Dion being back this week obviously helped our younger players. But yeah, I commented to the boys about Dion looking like it was just like riding a bike for him, that you can just get back into AFL footy and get 30-odd possessions, but just be so calm with the ball. And but it's not that. He's put a lot of time and effort. He committed to playing VFL footy last week, so he was ready. And more to the, it was his leadership out there. I could see it. You could feel it. You could hear it. And he's a calming influence on our younger players. So, and having, like I said, Nank and Lynchy across the field is the reason why we were competitive and we have been this year. So, a credit to him, but like I said, a credit to Tim and Hopper and Kane McAuliffe. Like our contested possession against a really good team, I think we win by 28. I think Kingers will be talking about that and the reasons and looking for the reasons why. I was so proud of that effort against a really good contested team. Yeah, we look like we knew what we were doing, which is nice.
And for Tim Taranto, you made such a strong start and then had Toby Bedford, I guess, try and clamp down on him, limit his impact a little bit.
Yeah.
How did he sort of manage that? And I guess as part of that key on-ball group that you have got.
Yeah, well, in the second half, his numbers, they might have dropped away, but what he was doing was trying to create space for others. So when you get tagged, there's ways that you can manipulate that and make him pay for doing so. And he was doing exactly what he needed to do, and that was be a good teammate and create opportunities for us to win the clearance. It might not be him. So yeah, his leadership around that space. Like I think Jacob Hopper ended up with 17 contested possessions. A lot of it would have been because Tim was sacrificing his role. So yeah, our midfield group worked really well together. And like I said, I don't think that was the reason why we lose the game. Yeah, I was really proud of Tim's effort as well.
Camden McIntosh, when you have got a relatively young side starting as a sub today, what was the thinking there?
Yeah, same sort of thing. Like the experience of having Camden not only in the team but as a sub and his calming nature and his obviously his leadership, the sub role, he can play all three lines. So it was just he rolled his ankle last week, so it was an opportunity to sort of break the cycle and give him a lighter week as well, but not miss the opportunity to utilise his leadership and his ability to impact on all three in all three lines. So yeah, we got him into the game late, try and get some run into the game, but. Yeah, that was the only reason why he started as a sub, but I thought he did it okay.
And there's been a bit of talk throughout the season about the rebuilding sides and the competition and whether they should be practicing the close finishes. Is that something that you already work on?
Yeah, no, we do. We do that. Yeah, I think you should always be thinking that and you should always be training it. We want the anxiety around a win-loss. We want them to learn and grow and learn how to win. And those close game scenarios are really important. There can be the difference of making finals and not. So as we start to grow as a group, we want to make sure that we're fast-tracking that part of it. So when we're talking about growth, close game scenarios, we want to be good at it. So like I said, our method and our system that stood up today was execution. And like I said, the last quarter, they were just too good. So we gave ourselves an opportunity to win it in the end, and we just fell short. Thanks, guys.